Everybody that has ever come to my house for Christmas knows that I like snowmen. I have lots of snowmen. This is just one of them, and he's wearing his mask so he stays safe from the virus. But since he wants you to see how cute he is, there's his cute little face. Well, the reason I brought one of my snowmen with me, and he's so soft and cuddly, then that's one of the reasons I like this one, and he has a present. Oh, there's something in there. Ooh, it's a bracelet. How cool is that? I didn't even know that was in there. Anyway, I brought this snowman to help me read the story of a snowman book, and it's called The Littlest Snowman. This isn't my littlest snowman. This is just one of my many snowmen. But this book, The Littlest Snowman, by Charles Tazewell, is a very old book. This book was Grandpa's book when he was little. So some of the words and some of the pictures might be a little different than you would see in a book written in 2020. So, The Littlest Snowman. In a certain town, on a certain 1st of December morning, everyone was suddenly awakened from his Christmas dreams by the joyful ringing of bells in every tower and steeple. When the townspeople looked out of their windows, they saw a white carpet of snow all over the ground. Every street lamp wore a white robe, and every picket on every fence wore a funny little snow cap. And rolling down the snowy street, behind two hard-working men who were clearing a path with their shovels, was a long convertible being driven by His Honor the Mayor. That's silly. A convertible in the snow? You know what a convertible is? It's a car without the top on it. There was no doubt about it now. It was time for the birth of the littlest snowman. The people dashed out of their houses following the mayor's car to a house which stood on Winter Avenue. There's the convertible. There in the yard they saw a small boy, the only one in town, who knew how to make the littlest snowman. He was just patting the last bit of snow into place. Around him were many helpers. Grandfather Squirrel held the littlest snowman's old brown hat. Reuben Rabbit had the red handle of a broken kitchen spoon, which would soon be the littlest snowman's mouth. Mr. and Mrs. English Sparrow carried 2 pieces of coal for the eyes. And Marmaduke Mouse had a blue marble, which would be the nose. Most important of all was a candy heart on which was lettered, "I love you truly," held by the little golden-haired girl from next door. This snowman's going to have a marble nose, and most of my snowmen have a carrot nose. So that's a little bit different, a marble nose. Maybe if you're making a snowman this year, you can put a marble on it for his nose. Well, as soon as the littlest snowman's heart was pressed gently into place beneath the second bottle top button of his vest, the mayor made his speech of welcome. Then the crowd paraded to the park in the center of town. There, the biggest tree to be found in the fir forest of the far north was decorated with thousands of ornaments and glittering tinsel. The littlest snowman pressed a switch, and the biggest Christmas tree was instantly lighted by many colors. Did you hear me say the word tinsel? I wonder if you have tinsel on your Christmas tree. I don't put it on my tree anymore. When I was little, we did. There silver strands hanging down from the branches to make it look like icicles. That's what tinsel is. Then the weatherman stepped forward. He was as long and thin as the glass on a thermometer, and on his tall silk hat was a weather vane. On the end of a watch chain across his vest was a turnip-size barometer. "I predict," he said, "that it will start to snow again on Christmas Eve, and that we will have an old-fashioned white Christmas this year." Everyone agreed that this was the best forecast the weatherman had ever made. Do you usually have a white Christmas where you live? Excuse me. Pretty much where I live, we have snow at Christmas time. Oh, here's the picture of the weatherman. Some evenings later, when the stars were twinkling brightly, the littlest snowman received a special delivery letter by helicopter pigeon inviting him to attend the annual Snowman Snowball at Town Park. There's a helicopter pigeon. The famous snowball was already well underway when the littlest snowman arrived. He lost no time in joining the snow ladies and snow gentlemen who were waltzing gracefully to the sleigh bell music. Then, when he had had enough of dancing, he helped himself to some ice water from the punch bowl on the refreshment table, and also to some appetizing colored icicles. Suddenly, over the music and voices of the dancers, a scream was heard from one of the snow girls. "Look at the snake!" she shrieked. The snake! Oh, I wonder what the snake was doing there. All of the snow people turned and stared at the large thermometer which hung on a tree. Snake, in snow people language, meant the long red line which went up and down on the thermometer. Oh, it wasn't a snake like we know a snake. There's a thermometer, and they call that red line the snake because it's going up the thermometer. Do you know what it means when it goes up the thermometer? I think it means that it's getting warmer, and that's not good for snow people. "The snake is crawling up and up," squealed the snow girl again. And it was. The snake was already wiggling well above the freezing mark. "I'm melting," wailed the snow lady. "I'm defrosting," cried a snowman. "Hurry," someone shouted. "Let's go back to our yards and pull the snow blankets over our heads." With each fat little foot leaving a puddle of water behind him, the littlest snowman slushed homeward sadly. Warm weather's not good for snow people. For the next few weeks, the red snake in the thermometer never crawled down below the freezing mark, and the littlest snowman became thinner and thinner. At last, the Red Cross was called in. They built a hospital of ice blocks in the littlest snowman's yard, and day and night he was tended by doctors and nurses. On the day before Christmas, the littlest snowman had grown terribly thin. However, just when he thought that he would melt completely, a howling cold wind came into town from the North Pole. The red snake in the thermometer dropped with a hiss. There are the Red Cross people helping the littlest snowman stay alive. Now the littlest snowman went forth to wish his fellow snow people a happy holiday. He wobbled up and down the streets on his thin little snow feet, but nowhere could he find a single snow person. They had all melted. The only person he could find was Mr. Weatherman, who was crying great tears. "It isn't going to snow," sobbed the weatherman. "Not a single flake. Oh, people will never forgive me, especially the children." "That's not so," said the littlest snowman. "Tomorrow is Christmas, and it is always a kind, generous, loving time. Besides, I have an idea for making it snow. So come along with me." Poor weatherman is very sad. They walked across the park to an ice cream and ices factory. There they bought every last gallon of flavored ices in sight and had it delivered to the foot of the biggest Christmas tree. "Now," said the littlest snowman to the weatherman, "just watch me." First he ate a gallon of strawberry ice, then a gallon of pistachio ice, then the orange, lemon, lime, and chocolate flavors too. With every gallon he ate, the littlest snowman grew fatter and fatter and fatter. There he is, eating all those different ices. At last, he had enough and climbed to the very top of the biggest Christmas tree, looking as fat and colorful as a cloud at sunset. Up there, high above the town, the north wind was so strong that the biggest Christmas tree bent and swayed. "Come down," shouted the weatherman. "You must climb down or you'll be blown to pieces." "Of course I will," cried the littlest snowman. "And just think of the beautiful snow all the children will have for Christmas." Sounds like the littlest snowman has a plan. Even as he spoke, the fierce north wind began to pluck the littlest snowman as though he were a Christmas goose or a turkey. Flakes of every flavor and color flew all over, getting the town the most beautiful Christmas Eve it had ever seen. Boy, I'd be surprised to see colored snowflakes flying outside. But on Christmas Day, there was no littlest snowman at all. Oh, but the townspeople could not have that. They hunted through the drifts, gathering every white flake, and brought them back to the little boy on Winter Avenue. He went to work, and in no time at all, there was the littlest snowman again, as good as new. In fact, he was better than new, because the little boy had added 4 gallons of vanilla ice to fatten him up. And when the candy heart was discovered to be still on top of the biggest Christmas tree, the townspeople lifted the littlest snowman up through the branches and put his heart back in place right there. All Christmas Day and all Christmas week, the littlest snowman sat there with a jolly smile on his happy face. His candy heart beat, "I love you truly," so loudly it could be heard in every corner of town. And after all, as everyone said, isn't I love you truly just another way of saying Merry Christmas? Oh, that was a cute story, a nice story. Now I know why the littlest snowman has ice cream cones and why there's colored snowflakes around him. Well, I hope you enjoyed the story. My little friend and I enjoyed the story. And we want to say, I love you truly. See you next time.